This is the Turf Zone Podcast, your central information and news hub, bringing together professionals from turf associations across multiple states to share things to help you and your business. Brought to you in partnership with our friends at the Tennessee Turfgrass Association. This episode is sponsored in part by Sod, world-class service on demand. Visit us online at www.buysod.com. Now, let's get in the zone.
Welcome to the Turf Zone. In this episode of Tennessee Turfgrass, we feature an article titled Alternative Weed Control in Turfgrass, written by Devin Carroll and Jim Brosnan, Ph.D. In certain regions of the United States and Canada, legislation has severely restricted traditional synthetic herbicide use in residential and commercial landscapes. Specifically, residential use of synthetic pesticides deemed cosmetic use in the Ontario province in Canada has been banned. Other aspects of the turfgrass industry, such as sports and golf, are able to receive exemptions through government approval, stated reduction goals, integrated pest management certification, and increased transparency requiring reporting and in-person meetings to discuss pesticide application. Similarly, in Montgomery County, Maryland, the use of synthetic pesticides perceived for use cosmetically is banned. Only natural, non-synthetic herbicides listed by the Organic Materials Review Institute, or OMRI, may be used for this purpose. Many local governments, such as the City of New York, banned glyphosate use on public lands such as school districts, parks, and in municipalities, except for maintenance of invasive plants in native areas. In the United States, many active ingredients in organic pesticides are considered minimum risk, categorized as Section 25B products, and are exempt from the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act registration process. Products must meet 6 criteria for inclusion in this category. Because labeling in this category is typically not federally regulated, labeling of non-synthetic herbicides is not consistent and may include wording such as organic or natural, despite these products not undergoing typical organic product registration. Although not required by federal law, independent agencies perform organic standard research to determine which products receive organic seals on labeling. Additionally, individual states may still require a registration process for minimum risk products and may limit herbicide use in some areas to only products listed by independent testing agencies. An example of a natural product research agency that maintains a list of products compliant with internal organic standards is OMRI. OMRI is a non-profit organization and thus not considered a regulatory agency. Conversely, the Environmental Protection Agency is considered a regulatory agency and, although not federally required, also tests natural products and lists those meeting organic criteria. Active ingredients on these lists include chelated iron, acetic acid, corn gluten meal, and a variety of soaps and oils. Chelated iron, also referred to as iron heta, is concentrated iron formulated for increased uptake in broadleaf weeds versus grasses. Once inside the plant, the iron is oxidized and causes necrosis. Acetic acid, which is concentrated in household vinegar used for cooking at 5%, is generally concentrated in horticultural vinegar at 20 to 40%. Horticultural vinegar applications can kill weeds by removing the waxy cuticle found on leaves, thus drying out the plant. Citrus oil and soaps, such as pelargonic acid or ammoniated fatty acid, work in similar fashion by stripping the leaf cuticle to facilitate water loss. Unlike many synthetic herbicides, products with these active ingredients are generally fast-acting and results may be observed within a few hours of application. Products containing these active ingredients are widely available to the public and can be purchased at most big box retail stores and online. Due to the lack of regulation and labeling, many manufacturers produce products of differing trade names that have similar active ingredients included at variable concentrations. For example, horticultural vinegar is available as green gobbler concentrated at 20, 30, or 40% acetic acid. Eco Garden Pro at 8% acetic acid plus 5% sodium chloride, or as Weed Farm, 20% acetic acid, among others. A common misconception is that products labeled as organic are non-toxic. This is false. Similar to synthetic pesticides, product labels contain the signal words caution, warning, or danger to alert applicators to toxicity. Caution labeling indicates the lowest level of toxicity to humans, followed by warning, meaning moderately toxic, and danger, denoting high toxicity. An example of organic herbicide toxicity labeling is horticultural vinegar labeled with a danger distinction because the product is a strong irritant and needs to be used with care. It is critically important that end users read and follow label instructions for both conventional and alternative herbicides before application. Most of these alternative weed control products are non-selective and are therefore injurious to desirable turfgrass. To mitigate injury concerns, these alternative options should be used to spot treat individual weeds rather than being applied via broadcast sprays. Research conducted at the Pennsylvania State University assessed the efficacy of Axe, 40% ammonium nonate, horticultural vinegar, 30% acetic acid, Fiesta, 26.2% iron hepta, Avenger, 70% D-limon citrus oil, and Adios, 11.9% sodium chloride, for control of dandelion and white clover and perennial ryegrass. Herbicide treatments were applied in late July with sequential applications made on 2 or 4-week intervals. 3 applications of Fiesta applied at 25.2 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet every 4 weeks controlled clover and dandelion within 6 days of initial application through mid-October. While not considered injurious to the turfgrass sward, increased iron uptake in the desired perennial ryegrass stand resulted in gray discoloration. Other natural, non-synthetic herbicide treatments, including Axe and horticultural vinegar, provided some control of both weed populations compared to an untreated check, although both were injurious to turfgrass. Treatments of Adios or Avenger did not control dandelion or clover and were not injurious to desired plants. Research conducted at the University of Tennessee in summer 2019 found similar results. A trial initiated in late July assessed the efficacy of 8 alternative herbicides: Fiesta, Avenger, Burnout, horticultural vinegar, Adios, BioSafe, Natria, and Weed Beater FE for control of white clover. 2 weeks after treatment, several alternative products controlled white clover similar to a single application of Trimet Classic, 2,4-D, MCPP, and dicamba at 3 pints per acre. These alternative treatments included single applications of Fiesta applied at 12.6, 25.2, or 50 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet, horticultural vinegar, and Avenger. The desired fine fescue turfgrass stand was discolored following Fiesta treatment and injured by horticultural vinegar and Avenger. Treatments of Natria, BioSafe, Weed Beater FE, and Adios did not control white clover. Burnout controlled clover approximately 50% compared to a non-treated check. A second trial was conducted in February 2020 at the University of Tennessee to assess efficacy of alternative weed control products for control of winter annual broadleaf weeds and dormant Bermuda grass. 11 days after treatment, Fiesta applied at 12.6, 25.2, or 50 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet. Axe, horticultural vinegar, and Natria controlled broadleaf weeds such as hairy bittercress, henbit, mouse-eared chickweed, and corn speedwell at approximately 50%. 33 days after initial treatment, the end of the study, Fiesta applied at 25.2 or 50 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet. With a 3-week sequential application, controlled these broadleaf weeds 60 to 80%, similar to Roundup Pro at 16 fluid ounces per acre and Cheetah Pro at 82 fluid ounces per acre. At the end of the study, Axe, horticultural vinegar, and Natria, treated sequentially 3 weeks after initial application, controlled these broadleaf weeds approximately 25%. The low control provided by these products at the end of the study compared to the 50% control observed 11 days after treatment indicates that sequential applications should be made every 2 weeks to obtain the greatest weed control. Results of these research projects show that alternative weed control products can reduce weed populations compared to non-treated turfgrass, although outside of Fiesta, they are generally not as effective as traditional synthetic herbicides. Alternative products are not translocated throughout plant tissue, which often results in regrowth of treated weeds. Therefore, sequential applications will be required for sustained weed control, which can be costly. For example, an application of Fiesta at 50 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet is approximately $25.40 per 1,000 square feet, compared to 76 cents per 1,000 square feet for an application of 2,4-D plus MCPP plus dicamba at 4 pints per acre. Changing legislation in certain areas of the United States and Canada may put pressure on synthetic pesticide use in turfgrass. Homeowners and turfgrass managers should be aware that while natural herbicides may be an effective tool compared to not using any weed control product, they are not an equivalent replacement to synthetic herbicides. In scenarios where alternative weed control products are required or preferred, they can be used to control select weed species via spot treatments applied sequentially. Products containing high concentrations of chelated iron, such as Fiesta or acetic acid, can be used for broadleaf weed control when applied as sequential spot treatments. However, these applications can cause undesirable injury or discoloration to turfgrass. More research is needed to better understand alternative methods of controlling weeds and maintain turfgrass. Investigations pertaining to effects of environmental or meteorological factors on efficacy of these products are warranted. The authors would like to thank Dr. Frank Rossi, Associate Professor and Extension Turfgrass Specialist at Cornell University, and Vicki Wallace, University of Connecticut Extension Educator and Program Director of UConn's Sustainable Turf and Landscape Program, for their assistance in developing this article. For all resources associated with this article, check out our show notes. And don't miss an episode of Tennessee Turfgrass. Subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also visit us at theturfzone.com.
You've been listening to The Turf Zone. Thank you to our sponsors, including Buy Sod, world-class service on demand. Visit us online at www.buysod.com. For more episodes of The Turf Zone, visit theturfzone.com and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app.